Alrighty, so today I'm going to be showing you guys a position on the map, Sand River, that I find to be really key. This may be a position you've already seen some other streamers take in their tanks. However, I want to reiterate this one because it's absolutely key to winning the North or farming a really good high damage game like you're going to see here. I'm going to show you different ways that you can play this position as the game develops and give you some tips based on the armor usage and the armor model of the E75 TS, which I'm using here. However, this position absolutely works for tanks that have more than 5 degrees of gun depression and decent turret armor. So let's get right into it. Now, you've seen me move into the C6 position here. I'm going to be taking a couple shots at the challenger here, and the reason why I'm able to poke here with relative immunity is because, one, I have the BZ176 backing me up, and I know I'm not getting shot from the base because the Tortoise is all the way back there, and a TL7 or the S1, who would be the tank shooting at me, are not shooting at me currently. So I'm feeling pretty comfortable just taking these shots and backing off as is. The armor model on this obviously isn't perfect. You are going to take some bounces like I did right here. The upper plate is a little over 200 millimeters when you're front facing, and when you use the gun depression, it goes around to 250 to 260 effective armor. Now, this is going to be enough to take a lot of the small rounds from tier 7s and tier 8s, but as you go in the upper tiers, this thing is going to struggle even while hull down, and that is because you have 3 main turret weak spots. You have these 2 ears on either side, which are really easily pennable. They're 60 effective armor, so they're almost auto pens for everything. And you also have the giant cupola, which is about 135, 140 effective armor. So everybody is going to be penning those. So you do have to keep in mind that you have to wiggle in this tank. And if you're unlucky and somebody has a lot of heat, you are going to be shot on either side of the mantlet. A very common place for people to shoot if they have heat rounds. So keep this in mind as you play this tank. Now, I want to take a moment to look at the minimap. If you see this, you see the 3 tanks pushing up top, and you don't have a friend like the BZ176, I'm going to suggest that you need to get the hell out of here. Because in my experience, what always seems to happen is that one of the tanks, the Lorraine or the Super Pershing, end up coming behind you, they'll flank you, they'll take a ton of your health, they'll waste a lot of your time that you need to be taking to get away from here, and eventually you just die. Now, the safest way to retreat is there is no safe way to retreat from this position. I just have to be real with you. This position is definitely a committed position. So if you're going to take it, you need to keep in mind that you have 2 different retreat paths. And I'm going to pause the video here to explain the weaknesses and advantages of both of these. For both, you're going to want to get unspotted behind this mound right here. And for the first one, you want a running start. So you're going to back up onto the hill if you're in a fast tank, and then you're going to veer across this distance right here, which will be exposing yourself to the 8 and 9 line, but if you're fast enough, you'll take minimal damage and you'll be safe from here to go either to the base or to rotate all the way around to the south or prepare yourself to defend. The second one, you're also going to need a running start on, get unspotted behind the hill, and then you're going to make your way down to the E3 position towards the middle. This one is okay, and in my experience has been relatively successful because the TDs from the enemy base only have about 2 seconds to actually shoot at you. So if you're unspotted, if the enemies at A9 don't have good view range, this is going to be your best option. However, if they have an FB4005, I don't suggest doing it because they're always right at the base and they're always looking at that cross. And I have died more times than I would like to count when repositioning from here. So now back to the battle. Now, I have no idea what this guy's plan was, but we end up tracking him and asking our friend in the BZ176 to actually shoot him, that we ping him, and goodbye, GG. So our next target's going to be the T30, who is a Taurus today. We're going to take a shot at him. I really should be firing APCR to make sure the shots connect for shell velocity's sake, but we carefully aim the next shot. We end up tracking him, but our BZ176 friend is not going to be able to shoot him with enough time. He's going to be going up over there. I'm a little bit worried that he's going to come around the other side of that hill and start shooting us. Luckily, he's not going to end up doing this, and that would have been actually one of the situations where APCR would have been better to use because it would have gone right through the Tiger 1's mantlet. But right now, we're holding down everything. We can't complain. BZ176 and I are holding down against 4 other opponents here. I'm not considering the Amex because what is he going to do? We take a snapshot and we're able to hit that pretty reliably because we are stacking vert stabilizers along with the rotation mechanism, which is going to come in handy later when we're going to try to ram because you're able to redirect. Now, the accuracy I have on this thing is around 0.35, so I do sacrifice a little bit of that. I'm not paying attention. My team is, thankfully. I'm going to end up getting a shot in on the Super Pershing there for 324. Not quite high enough to finish him off, but our teammate in the S1 is able to actually get the snapshot from a while away. We take another shot at the T30. He's using the smaller gun, so I'm not too worried about him penetrating us. he's got other problems at this point with the AMX moving in. So I think he's going to be occupied. I'm looking at the Tiger 1 and I want to move in, but then we spot the S1 right here. And this is where the 0.35 accuracy is a little bit, it's mediocre. But with this build, most of my engagements are going to be close to mid-range. Right here, it's a little on the longer. So I'm going to close the distance, and I'm going to try to get some more out of this game, because at this point, we're up 7,000 damage. The game's going to be over at any point, and I want to see if I can make my way towards the middle to get any more damage. Now, the Tiger 1, I think he sees me here, and I'm going to poke ahead here. I'm going to shoot. He shoots me in the lower plate right here, unfortunately, and it's just not enough to stop him. As is with most German tanks, once people press number 2, you're not going to be able to do much. End up finishing him off for the 295 hit points that he has left, and at this point, we're going towards the S1. Now, I really want to get up here fast. The unfortunate thing about my build is that I don't have the best speed. Even though this thing has good power to weight, it's better with a turbo if you're trying to get those juicy rams in. Luckily for me, the BZ176 misses his shot, and that means I get to have free reign when it comes to ramming, and I was a very happy camper at this point because I knew I was going to be able to get him. So I take a shot in here just to confirm, and we just gently tap him for the rest of his HP. And this tank is excellent for ramming because you have 80 tons of weight towards you. You have okay traverse speed, so behind the KV5, this is really probably one of the best rammers at tier 8. Now, we have 2 enemies left. There's the Lorraine, the Tortoise. Tortoise is obliterated by the swarm that we have in the middle. And we're going to see if we can try to get the last shot in on the Lorraine. You see me switch to APCR because I want that shell velocity to be able to kill confirm. And I probably could have used the secondary round a lot more in here just to make sure those shots connect, especially on the Tiger 1 earlier. Now, we're going to try to get up here, the last shot, but our BZ176 friend who held it down with us is able to confirm it. We got 6K in here. I'm really happy with this result. So all that's left to do now is take a look at our endgame results. Let's get to it. Now that we're at the end screen, we can see that we got 7,500 combined, which was enough, more than enough for the mastery badge. We dealt a lot of damage at distance, so we get the tank sniper medal, along with high caliber for the 6,000 that we got. And looking at our team, the T95 and the BZ176 did really well, so shout out to them, and especially for the BZ176, because I wouldn't have been able to hold that position if it weren't for him also supporting with me. Now, I want to hear what you guys think in the comment section about the E75 TS. Let me know if you think its armor actually works. In my experience, I find that anything above tier 8, this armor just tends to kind of turn into cheese because everybody's firing premium rounds anyway, so I play it like it doesn't have armor, kind of like the Caliban or the Gonzalo, which I play a lot of anyways. So let me know in the comment section what you guys think of this tank. Let me know if there's any other tanks that you guys want to have covered, and I'm going to be covering it. I'm going to continue the series on tanks that I think should be buffed. This is not one of them. I think this tank is perfectly balanced, but I also made a video about the Skoda T27 and what I think Wargaming could do to make it unique again and save it from irrelevancy. So if you guys are interested in that video, go check it out. If you like this video and this type of content, be sure to leave a like, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good one. Peace.